Yeah, I think I always used to feel a bit nervous sometimes, or I had that almost imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And would have moments of going, oh, my.
Can I do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we don't have any scenes together so far, but she's actually living with me in my apartment, which is definitely interesting. I came back from a little vacation and like all of the rugs had moved. And there were like little new flower pots and kitchen things. And I was like, okay.
Demi Moore, who made a rare appearance with all three of her daughters at the Vanity Fair's Oscars party on Sunday.
It's everything. It really is.
Rumored Tallulah and Scout Willis posing alongside their mama before heading inside the event.
Y'all, Demi Moore's own daughter is spilling some scalding hot tea about her mom's connection to P. Diddy and Ashton Kutcher's wild parties. I mean, we're talking about some seriously shocking revelations here about alleged involvement in these infamous Hollywood gatherings. Are we finally uncovering some deep, dark secrets that have been hiding in plain sight? Or is this just another messy family drama playing out for all of us to see? Trust me, darling, you're going to want to hear every juicy detail of this story. Now, let me tell you something about Demi. And honey, when I say she's a huge star, I mean she's absolutely massive in Hollywood. This woman has been dominating the acting scene since the 90s like nobody's business. We're talking Golden Globes, Emmy Awards, the whole 9 yards.
Demi Moore is still sizzling. Last night's Golden Globes far from her first charade. In the last 4 decades, she starred in endless box office hits from 1985's St. Elmo's Fire
How come you never made a pass at me?
to 1997's G.I. Jane.
Now get this. Demi's love life has been quite the roller coaster. She's been married 3 times, and her second marriage was to none other than action superstar Bruce Willis. They had 3 gorgeous daughters together, Rumor, Scout LaRue, and Tallulah Willis. When they split in 2000, they actually managed to keep things civil and put their kids first. I know, shocking for Hollywood, right?
They meet, marry, get pregnant in just 4 months. And then the next 10 years together are a blur of rearing 3 daughters, making 33 movies, and drifting toward divorce, determined to put their children first.
Demi met Ashton Kutcher a few years afterwards.
But honey, wait until you hear this next part. Demi meets Ashton Kutcher at some fancy dinner party in 2003, and bam! Sparks are flying everywhere. But oh my goodness, did this relationship cause a storm in Hollywood? The tabloids absolutely lost their minds, and can you blame them? Here's the tea. Demi was 15 years older than Ashton. I mean, can you even?
Settled by a woman who is 15 years older.
Gosh, I don't know. It's so silly.
Their relationship was shrouded with loads of judgment.
The judgment was real, sweetie. Everyone was clutching their pearls, saying it was completely inappropriate for Demi to be dating someone so much younger. But here's the gag. This wasn't even new for Demi. She later went on to date Sean Friday, 24 years younger, and Daniel Hum, 15 years younger. I mean, if that doesn't scream cougar, I don't know what does. But did Demi care what anyone thought? Not one bit. She said Ashton made her feel safe, wasn't bothered by her ex-husband baggage, and absolutely adored her children. They tied the knot just 2 years after meeting, completely ignoring all the side-eye they were getting.
Safe, I had money, he loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with the enormity of the ex-husband. I mean, you know, I felt like I was not coming with baggage. I had trunks.
So here's the gist. Demi might have not given a damn.
Now, here's where things get really interesting, darlings. While Demi might have been living her best life, not caring what the world thought about her May-December romance with Ashton, her daughters were definitely feeling the heat from this crazy situation their mom had thrown them into. Rumor Willis spilled all the tea on Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk, and trust me, it was one episode you wouldn't want to miss.
To talk about the pain passed down from parent to child. Welcome to me, Rumor and Tallulah.
Thank you. This is such a nice treat.
Rumor revealed that her self-esteem was greatly damaged.
Rumor just laid it all out there, honey. She revealed how her self-esteem was absolutely shattered because of her mother's poor self-image. Demi was going through it all. Anxiety, addiction, depression, and poor Rumor admitted it affected her own self-image something terrible. She felt unloved no matter what she did or how much she tried to glam herself up. It's just heartbreaking.
As the mother, your kid is gonna pick up on that, you know, and not be able to necessarily take in, oh, I'm so amazing because my mom says I'm amazing.
Right.
If my mom doesn't love herself, like how can I do that?
How can I expect her to love her?
Like unworthiness. Like I'm innately unlovable somehow, no matter how I look, what I weigh, like how my hair looks, whatever the outside reflection is, there's something innately about me that I have to earn love from people and like constantly prove myself.
Tallulah Willis also opened up about how her mother's love.
But wait, there's more. Tallulah Willis also came forward with her own story, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. She spilled about how her mom trying to keep secrets about her past just drove this massive wedge between them. Can you believe Tallulah started drinking at just 15 years old, following right in her mama's footsteps with addiction issues until the family finally stepped in? She ended up moving back in with Demi to get help and start therapy.
To hold back certain things from like sharing about her past, and I think that always made me feel very far away from her, and it always made me feel like I didn't know her very well.
And that's not all Rumor revealed about her mom.
Now this next part is just wild. Rumor dropped another bombshell during her interview with Howard Stern. She called out her mom's thing for younger men, saying Ashton was just one of many. But here's the kicker. Rumor had the biggest crush on Ashton growing up. Her room was plastered with his posters. Can you imagine how awkward it must have been when Mommy Dearest started dating your teenage crush? Talk about having to cross someone off your face.
But the thing was, you used to have posters of Ashton.
Totally did.
Like he's a hot looking dude. I mean,
he was one of many on the wall, but
right.
He was up there.
Hey, you know.
Was that not the weirdest thing for you?
It was definitely weird for a minute, but you know, I have to commend him, and he was a really great stepfather, and really, you know, the perspective like shifted very quickly.
Did you
take down the picture?
like how long do you wait before you take down the poster? Like,
However, apart from shock and surprise,
But get this, despite the shock and surprise, Rumor actually admitted to being a tiny bit impressed that her mom could snag such a hottie like Ashton. Though she never fully came out and said it, it's crystal clear their relationship took a major hit because of the whole Ashton situation. Interestingly enough, Rumor and Ashton stayed friends even after he divorced her mom and married Mila Kunis.
first between your mother and Ashton because you say to yourself, well, this is just not going to work. There's no way. I'm being protective of my mother. Do you think to yourself, I've got to stop this?
No, I mean, I feel like I was kind of impressed. I was like, yeah, girl, get it. All right.
Really?
Now y'all know Ashton is no stranger to controversy.
Now, darlings, let's talk about Ashton because this man is no stranger to controversy. It seems like he's always caught up in some kind of scandal, making everyone wonder if he's really the bad boy of Hollywood. He was super tight with P. Diddy, always showing up at these extravagant parties together. Ashton even co-hosted one of those famous all-white parties with Diddy. In his Hot Ones interview, he was so cagey about what went down at these parties, refusing to spill any details. And honey, you know when someone's being that secretive, there's usually something juicy they're trying to hide.
Favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them.
Well, as you might have guessed, Ashton is now faithful.
Well, buckle up because things are getting serious. With all the drama surrounding Diddy's recent troubles, Ashton's friendship with him is under the microscope. These parties weren't just your average Hollywood bash. We're talking about some truly disturbing allegations. And since Ashton was such a regular at these events, people are finding it hard to believe he had no clue about what was really going on.
When I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready.
It's not looking good for Ashton, with many critics.
The tea is scalding hot right now because word on the street is that Ashton might be the next celebrity to get hit with a subpoena. And Demi's not escaping the drama either. She was married to him when all these parties were happening. Did she really not know what her hubby was up to? Was she turning a blind eye? The plot thickens, honey. And speaking of drama, this next bit is absolutely wild. An old video has resurfaced that's got everyone side-eyeing Ashton even harder. Picture this. Young actress Alexa Vega is chatting with Ashton right after winning an MTV Music Award when who should pop up but Diddy himself. He congratulates her and, get this, invites her to his infamous after party. The creepy part. Alexa was only 13 years old at the time.
I just want to say, Everyone will suffer. Hey, MTV Rock! I won the MTV Movie Award.
Coming to the after party tonight?
Now, a lot of y'all are wondering what the issue with this is.
I mean, seriously, who invites a child to an adult party where God knows what is happening? And Ashton just stood there smiling, not saying a word. Major red flag alert. While we're not sure if Alexa actually went to the party, it's super suspicious that she basically vanished from the spotlight not long after this. Ashton might want to start being more careful about who he calls friend because, honey, he is in some seriously hot water right now. The story gets even more twisted when you dig into Demi's past. She's always been open about her struggles growing up, especially her complicated relationship with her mother. Brace yourselves for this one. She revealed that her own mother actually exploited her when she was just 15 years old. Absolutely heartbreaking.
And a devastating betrayal, revealed by the man's cruel question. How does it feel to be whored by your mother for $500?
Well, in the wake of all this, Demi and Ashton...
Now here's where things get really interesting. Back in 2009, Demi and Ashton decided to do something positive. They started an organization called Thorn to fight against exploitation of young people. They said they were inspired after watching a documentary about exploited youth. Sounds noble, right? Well, hold on to your hats. With all this Diddy drama coming to light, people started questioning the organization's credibility because of Ashton's connection to Puff. Can you blame them? The backlash got so intense that Ashton had to step down as board chair. And let's not forget the whole Danny Masterson situation, where Ashton and Mila wrote that controversial letter supporting him. Talk about bad judgment. They had to publicly apologize for that one, darling.
Now his former co-stars are also paying the price for supporting him.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
It's complicated. Kutcher wants Masterson to be found innocent of the charges brought against him, but at the same time doesn't want his friend to get off the hook. Quote, I wholesale feel for anybody who feels like they were violated in any way.
Despite all these major scandals that Demi has been caught up.
But wait until you hear what Demi has to say about her marriage to Ashton. She spilled all the tea about how completely infatuated she was with him. We're talking full-on addiction levels of love. She was willing to do absolutely anything for her man. And oh boy, did she pay the price.
Everything that was right in front of me, which is the family I had. And I think the weight that it put on Ashton, it's kind of a natural thing to pull back when somebody's, clinging too tight.
Demi really laid it all bare, honey. She admitted to trying to keep up with her young husband's party lifestyle, even breaking her sobriety to start drinking again. And then there's the bombshell about the threesomes. Yes, you heard that right. Ashton apparently asked for them and Demi agreed only to totally regret it later. The things we do for love, right?
Story. He expressed something that was of a fantasy, and it was in my efforts to want to please and be what I thought he wanted.
Right. But darling, you can't outrun time, and Demi just couldn't keep up with Ashton's young party boy ways. Then came the whispers. Ashton wasn't being faithful, and not just once, multiple times. They finally called it quits in 2011, and honestly, we all saw that train wreck coming from miles away.
And he admitted it right away. And I think my response was, are you
Demi poured her heart out about all of this in her book, Inside Out. It's her way of healing from all this crazy drama. But here's the really sad part. It's like this vicious cycle of trauma. Demi got messed up because of her mom, and then her daughters got messed up because of her. It's like dominoes falling, each generation affecting the next.